The 5 lights go out. We are racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. Now as we go on to lap 6, and Vettel goes wide up here on Hamilton takes the lead. Raikkonen takes second. Raikkonen forcing Vettel wide. Vettel trying to get the position back, going into the final chicane now. And Vettel no, he can't get the position on Raikkonen. Raikkonen holds second. Lewis Hamilton now uses the slipstream in the DRS once again to attempt to pass on Sebastian Vettel down the Kemmel straight. Lewis Hamilton having the inside line, Vettel having the outside line, and Hamilton has taken what should be the lead of the Grand Prix, going into the right-hander now, and Vettel retakes the lead off Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo driving very slowly. Lewis Hamilton held up by Red Bull. Raikkonen even having a look at Vettel now. Vettel's lost 2 positions as we go into Blanchard. He goes very wide. He passes Kimi Raikkonen, but he's gone very wide on the exit as he still holds on second position. He's going to try and get Rosberg going into the bus stop chicane. Vettel takes the lead. Sebastian Vettel exits the final corner. A huge oversteer moment, trying to control the car as he crosses the start-finish line to win the Belgian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the final European race before the Formula One circuit heads back to Asia. This weekend, it's Monza. Welcome to day 1 of the Italian Grand Prix. Some fans have commented that this track isn't as difficult as it once was due to the recent track modifications around Parabolica.
The Parabolica is a demanding high-speed corner, and in the past, drivers were known to stray into the gravel trap. But around the edge now is a strip of tarmac, so if a car does go off the track, they should be able to recover.
One of the most famous corners here at Monza is the Variante del Rettifiglio, the first corner chicane. It's been the scene of so many first lap incidents over the years, and I think the teams will be holding their breath, hoping that they make it through that corner cleanly at the start today.
This is such a tricky corner to find the right braking point for. You approach it around 220 miles per hour down the main straight, then scrub off 170 miles per hour in just over 100 meters. It's very easy therefore to overshoot and end up driving through the escape road.
Hey, what's up? It is Dan or DMan96 here, and welcome back to Sebastian's return to glory for the Italian Grand Prix. And this is a very special race for Sebastian, as he won his first ever Grand Prix at this track in 2008, driving the uncompetitive Toro Rosso. He has then gone on to win this race twice with Red Bull in 2011 and 2013, and 7 years after his first Formula One victory, he is now back at Monza driving for Ferrari. It's his first race at Monza with the team, and he is looking to put on a great show for the Tifosi and extend his lead over Nico Rosberg in the Drivers' Championship after his win last time out in Belgium. But now, it's time to move on to the qualifying report. As the European season draws to a close, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza plays host for round 12 of the World Championship. This circuit is Ferrari territory, and both Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen will be looking to do the Tifosi fans proud as qualifying began. Will Stevens edged out teammate Roberto Merhi in the qualifying battle at Manor. A loss of power from Max Verstappen left the young Dutchman in 17th, whilst teammate Carlos Sainz completed their disappointing qualifying for Toro Rosso in 14th. Things were similar for Red Bull driver Daniel Ricciardo when he suffered an engine failure on his final flying lap, leaving him in 16th. It was another tough session for McLaren, however Fernando Alonso was slightly pleased with his 12th place. Both Force Indians were eliminated in Q2, Hulkenberg 13th and Perez 15th. All of this plus heavy rain in Q3 made for a very interesting top 10. Williams struggled in the tricky conditions as Massa beat teammate Bottas to 8th. The top 5 was a major mix-up, with both Lotus drivers achieving their best qualifying all season, with Grosjean in 4th and Maldonado 5th. The biggest shock, however, was a sublime lap from Marcus Ericsson, who was just under a second off a pole time in a career-best 3rd. Whilst Lewis Hamilton made the front row, teammate Rosberg struggled completely and will start 7th just behind championship rival Vettel. This brought great news for the Tifosi crowd and the first pole position of the season for Kimi Raikkonen. With the backing of the fans, can Kimi and Seb bring home a good result at their team's home race?
The time has come for the drivers to put all they've learned this weekend into reality. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. Kimi says he doesn't read much into securing pole for today's race and that it's only the main event that matters. There might be no prizes for pole position, but it does give the Finn a real chance to land some desperately needed points.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
So what would you have been doing overnight if you were Lewis Hamilton to make up the time difference that he needs to make up based on yesterday's qualifying times?
He clearly has a pretty good balance in the car. He just needs to work out where he can squeeze an extra tenth or two to make up the difference.
So not the best qualifying for Sebastian Vettel, as rain coming down at the end of Q3 stopped him from getting pole position. He starts in 6th position. His teammate Kimi Raikkonen starts on the front row as well. Lights illuminates here in Monza. It's lights down, away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. Raikkonen and Hamilton get off to decent starts. Maldonado gets to a solid start. He's alongside Marcus Ericsson. Romain Grosjean off to a lightning start. He's alongside the 2 front runners as we're trying to defend from Felipe Massa going into Rettifilio now. And it looks like Grosjean's going to try and take the lead of the Grand Prix. And there's contact back with one of the McLarens and both the Manor drivers. We're defending off Valtteri Bottas. And Romain Grosjean has spun. Maldonado's up to 2nd. What a start for the Lotus driver. But the other Lotus driver's off into the gravel trap. Shame for Romain Grosjean, who qualified so well. But faster Maldonado is already up to 2nd. A fantastic start for the Venezuelan as we go up the inside of Nico Rosberg to take 4th position. Kimi Raikkonen leads the Italian Grand Prix, so it's good news for the Tifosi fans so far, but can we work our way through the Sauber and the Lotus drivers to get up to 2nd position and make it a Ferrari 1-2? As we have a look at the replay now and see what happened with Romain Grosjean. Lewis Hamilton is alongside Kimi Raikkonen, is trying to make a move going into the video. Romain Grosjean was there as well, but then he was forced out wide by Lewis Hamilton and then rejoining the track. He was collected by someone and there he is spinning around into the gravel trap. Have a look from Lewis Hamilton's point of view, and that was Felipe Massa there hitting the back of Hamilton. He lost his front wing in that, so Massa drops back tremendously, and a real shame for Romain Grosjean. He qualified so well and now he's right down the order as we go and have a look at the battle for 2nd, believe it or not, between Pastor Maldonado in the Lotus and Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber. And Ericsson's going to try and make a move around the outside with Parabolica. Meanwhile, just behind them, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg are battling out as well. Rosberg forces Vettel wide. He really wants 4th place back, but Vettel defends the position. He's going to take back 4th position now. And is he going to take 2nd? Surely not. Yes, he does. He finds the gap and he moves into 2nd place. He's overtaken 3 cars on 1 straight. And now it's a Ferrari 1-2, and I'm sure the Tifosi will be pleased. We have a look at a replay for that now. There is Sebastian Vettel defending from Nico Rosberg and then finding the gap with the slipstream to get past Marcus Ericsson and Pastor Maldonado to move in 2nd position. It's now Ferrari 1-2 here in Monza, and Kimi Raikkonen has managed to pull out a gap to Sebastian Vettel and the other cars behind due to their battling. Raikkonen sets the fast lap of the race. Vettel responds with a lap time nearly a 2nd quicker than his teammate. It looks like we could have a great battle here between the 2 Ferraris here at their home Grand Prix, but Sebastian brakes very late going into the Rettifilio chicane and he resorts to going off the track. He doesn't take the escape route, but he's rejoined the track, still in 2nd position. He can't afford to keep making mistakes like that, otherwise it might cost him. As we have a look now for battle behind us, as Marcus Ericsson is still in 3rd position and Nico Rosberg is looking to try and take 3rd now. He's just overtaken Maldonado. Can he get Ericsson? Ericsson desperately trying to hold on, but Rosberg, with a superior cornering speed, manages to take the 3rd position, and it looks like Sauber and Lotus's chances of a podium here in Monza look to be gone. As we have a look at Sebastian Vettel now, he has been pushing like hell to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen. The gap was nearly 2 seconds, I think, and about lap 3. But now we move on to lap 6, and the gap is only 6/10. So he's got the DRS wide open and the slipstream to catch up with Kimi Raikkonen going into the chicane, onto the cinematic camera now. And he just isn't close enough to Raikkonen to make the move for the lead. But we now move on to the Curva Grande now, and Vettel still is close behind Raikkonen. Rosberg's closing in as well. Into the Curva Grande we go now, and it looks like Sebastian's best chance of taking Kimi Raikkonen for the lead will be going into the Della Rosa chicane now, as he has a look at the inside line. His teammate on the prime tyres is trying to defend, but Vettel a little bit contact with his teammate, but he takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Now he just needs to pull out a gap to Kimi before the pit stops, and as you saw, Kimi Raikkonen is running on the prime tyres. That was because he can choose what tyres he wants to start on because of the wet weather in Q3, and that's why he's chosen the prime tyres. But and that's actually a disadvantage because Rosberg on the options has easily cleared Raikkonen. He's taken 2nd position, and it looks like Rosberg could be having a go at the lead just before the pit stops. And I think Vettel is coming on to pits at the end of this lap because his tyres have absolutely gone off. He's told the team that he is going to be boxing this lap, and Nico Rosberg's going to have a look down the inside going into the Rettifilio chicane. Vettel defending and a little bit of a corner cut, but Vettel's kept the position. Rosberg stays in 2nd as we go on to the end of lap 7 now. He goes into the pit lane behind one of the Manor drivers, and he needs to make this stop a good one if he wants any chance of keeping the lead. And I believe he's actually fitting to the prime tyres instead of the usual options that he has run in previous races. So a very interesting strategy for Sebastian, and he has to push if he wants any chance of winning this race, because I believe that Kimi Raikkonen will be running 2 option stints, I think. So Sebastian Vettel rejoins in 5th position behind Danny Kvyat, and one of the back markers, one of the Mana Marujas, I don't really know who it is, but he rejoins in 5th position. Now he really needs to push like hell if he wants to win this race, as we move on to lap 10 now. And Nico Rosberg actually did manage to get past Sebastian Vettel, and Vettel has been gaining to the back of Rosberg, who is still on the option tyres. Vettel on the slower compound tyres. Both of these drivers have already stopped, and Rosberg is trying to defend around the outside of the parabolica. Vettel having the inside line. They're both still side by side as we go down the start-finish straight. It's amazing racing between the pair of them. It looks like Vettel's going to get ahead, and it looks like he has done as well. Vettel will now leave the Italian Grand Prix, as I believe Raikkonen has just come out of the pits now, and no, Vettel's broken late. Rosberg retakes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Amazing racing here between the pair of them. Vettel now in 2nd position, moving on to lap 11, the next lap now. Vettel's going to try it for a second time. He's got the slipstream on Rosberg. This time he's going to try on the outside line. A risky move for Sebastian, but it looks like he has made it stick. But no, he goes wide on the exit. Rosberg retakes the lead. These two are having a fantastic battle, and Kimi Raikkonen isn't far behind. But Sebastian Vettel won't get DRS because he was ahead of Rosberg in the detection zone, but he has immense slipstream on the Mercedes driver. He's going to try for another move going into turn 1. Rosberg breaks later, but Vettel going up the inside line. Rosberg goes slightly wide, but Rosberg, he can't defend the position. Vettel takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. What a battle these two are having, but it's not over yet. On lap 12, Rosberg trying around the outside, similar to what Vettel did last time. This time he doesn't go wide. Rosberg has now got position, forcing Vettel almost into the pit lane, and that was a very aggressive move from Nico Rosberg, and he won't have the... No, it's Vettel's the DRS now as we go down the start-finish straight. Vettel taking back the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. This is a fantastic battle going into the chicane, and Vettel holds on to the lead, slightly cut from the corner there. As we go into the Della Rocha chicane, he's got Roberto Merri ahead of him, one of the back markers. Rosberg is still close behind. Kimi Raikkonen is slightly catching up as well, as Rosberg tries to move down the inside of the first Lesmo corner, and this time he has managed to take the lead back off Sebastian Vettel into the second Lesmo now. And Rosberg will have DRS off Roberto Merri, will have DRS off Rosberg. So I don't know if we're going to catch up, but we're going to use a slipstream as well. Roberto Merri, what's he doing? He just completely pulled out in front of us, and we have now had to back off, and Rosberg still holds the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Going into the chicane, we need a good line out of the chicane. We've got the slipstream, we've got the straight line speed. We're going to try and have a look on the straight, on the slower tyres. We've got better straight line speed than Nico Rosberg, and we've retaken the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and this battle is not over yet as we go on to the next lap now, and Rosberg is having another look at the inside. These two still going at it as we go into the Rettifilo. Rosberg takes the lead before going into the chicane. And wow, this has just been an amazing race so far. But Nico Rosberg has now got some back markers ahead of him. I don't know. I think that was Nico Hülkenberg. I really don't know. This has been an amazing race so far, and we've just gone past half distance. And we've got the slipstream Rosberg now. He's got Nico Hülkenberg. He's going to try and make a move at the inside. We're going to try to move so slightly aggressive. There's contacts, but we've taken the lead. Rosberg pops up by Hülkenberg. We've had a look at the inside because there was a gap, and we've managed to take the lead of Nico Rosberg now into the Lesmo. And this time we're actually going to hold on to the Lesmo instead of losing the position onto the straight. Rosberg's got the DRS open again into the Ascari chicane, and we're going to take back the lead, even though Rosberg's gone off. Rosberg's gone off. That is crucial. What happened to Rosberg? We're going to have a look at the slow motion camera now, and there is Nico Rosberg. I don't know what happened, but it looks like he just went off the track trying to defend the position from that, and an absolute shame for Nico Rosberg, and I believe now he has lost any chance of winning this race or even finishing second, because I believe Kimi Raikkonen is now back in second position, and it's now looking good for Ferrari 1-2. But we're back with Sebastian Vettel. We skipped quite a few laps into the Grand Prix. Not a lot happened after Rosberg going off, but Sebastian now enters the pit lane for his second and final stop. He'll be fitting the option tyres yet again for his final stint in order to try and collect this victory. But as we go out of the pit lane now, where is Kimi Raikkonen? Because at this point I believe he had already pitted, so it's going to be a battle between the two Ferraris going out of the pit lane. There is Raikkonen going down the straight. Vettel just exited the pit lane now. Raikkonen's going to go, it's going to be along, so it's going to be very close between the two Ferrari drivers into the Rettifilo chicane. Raikkonen has the outside line. You have the inside line going into the second corner, and Raikkonen actually jumps Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Raikkonen's back in the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and Sebastian Vettel and Kimi, it's now going to be Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen battling as Nico Hülkenberg's gone off. What's happened there? I think Kimi Raikkonen forced in wide and really wants to know what happened, so we're going to have a little look now. with Nico Hülkenberg. There's Kimi Raikkonen. Hülkenberg going off the track and then just rejoining straight into the path of Raikkonen. And forced off there, you can see us going past as well. On to lap 23, we set the fast lap of race for 1:23.038. We have a DRS wide open back at the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and we've taken the lead. Once again, it was Rosberg and Vettel battling earlier on. It's now Raikkonen and Vettel battling for the lead in Monza. As Fernando Alonso moves over to let us through, we've gone wide in the exit, and Fernando Alonso led to Kimi Raikkonen. And has Raikkonen suffered any damage? And he might have ruined this battle for the lead. We might have won the Italian Grand Prix. We can have a look at Fernando Alonso now. And Raikkonen hasn't suffered any damage. But what was Alonso doing? Moving into the path of Raikkonen. And that nearly cost Raikkonen his front wing, I think, as Raikkonen has closed up now on the lap afterwards. He has the DRS wide open. He's going to have a look going into the Ascari chicane. This battle for the lead has just been fantastic. This entire race has been brilliant. Raikkonen tries to move around the outside, but no, Vettel just holds on. Raikkonen going slightly wide, and Vettel now taking back the lead. This race is not over yet. We're on the penultimate lap now, and Raikkonen's going to try once again at the same corner. He's got the DRS wide open. He's going to try a similar move what he did before. This time he needs to not run wide on the exit, and Raikkonen looks like he's actually made it stick. Vettel trying to brake early, but no, Raikkonen's broke later. Raikkonen's gone wide again. He's doing exactly what he's done last time. We've got the lead back, but our tyres have gone off the cliff now. Can we hold on to first place in this absolutely fantastic race? Raikkonen's going to come back at us once again around the outside of a parabolica, and Raikkonen's going to try again, but no, we hold on. We have the inside line, we have the better line than the parabolica. Raikkonen will have the DRS on the start finish straight. It's one more lap, anything can happen. Can we hold on to this lead? No, we can't. Raikkonen's got the DRS side by side, both Ferraris side by side here at their own Grand Prix. Raikkonen's having the inside line going into the first corner. Vettel will try and hold on, going to the second corner side by side. They've been side by side for absolutely ages, and Raikkonen retakes the lead. And could this be this last exciting twist here in Monza? We've had such a thrill of a race, better than the actual Italian Grand Prix itself. And now we move on to the final sector now. This needs to be perfect if Sebastian wants any chance of winning here in Monza. He has had a fantastic line through that Ascari chicane, much better than Kimi Raikkonen. He'll have the straight line speed. He won't have a DRS because the DRS is after the start-finish line, but he'll have to try and get past him with the slipstream. He's closing on Raikkonen. He's going to try a dive bomb going into the final corner. Side by side, they've made contact. Raikkonen holds on, so Vettel's just going to have to get the straight line speed just before the start-finish straight. Is it going to be enough? It's been a close race, but Raikkonen holds on. Wow, what a race we've had here in Monza, guys. Kimi Raikkonen wins from 7/100ths of a second ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. It's a Ferrari 1-2 here at Monza, and the Tifosi must be going wild right now. What a race it has been. We left it to the final straight, but we just couldn't do it. Rosberg finished in third. Ericsson scores his first points of the season. Grosjean recovers to finish in 10th, and Hamilton actually doesn't score, so this can make the Constructors' Championship very interesting. As we move on to the Drivers' Championship, Vettel now extends the lead over Nico Rosberg to 11 points, with Kimi Raikkonen closing in on Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, who didn't score this weekend. Marcus Ericsson scores his first points of the season, as nothing much changes in the championship. As we have a look at the Constructors' Championship now, no changes in the championship, but Ferrari have closed the gap to 21 points now behind Mercedes, with Hamilton not scoring and their 1-2 finish. So it's going to be very interesting going into the Singapore Grand Prix. But now, after an amazing race, it is time for the podium. What a race we've had at Monza. It's Kimi Raikkonen who takes his first victory of the season, with his teammate Sebastian Vettel beside him in second. It's a 1-2 for Ferrari at Monza. The Tifosi are going wild. And I hope you enjoyed this thrilling race, guys. If you have, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The Singapore Grand Prix is next up, so be sure to look forward to that. Until next time, guys, this has been DMAT96, and I need a rest.